As many of you know, I'm Dr. Alejandro.
And I'm Dr. Emily.
And we're on a mission to rebuild chiropractic one partnership at a time.
We help chiropractors open practices, revive failing ones, and step into their true calling. This is the Path to Victory podcast. What's up, guys? Dr. Emily here. I am solo for today's episode and super grateful to come in and just share some of what I've been experiencing lately. We're coming off of a super busy season, which is why we've been solo the past couple episodes. We are just not really finding time to record podcasts together. So here we are. Just super excited to share my brain. We just got back from Scottsdale, Arizona, where we had a very expansive weekend. We're part of a group called Expanders. And all I can say about that is just get in the room with people who elevate you, who inspire you, who are doing really cool things, and maybe even are living out their lives in a way that you desire to live out your life, because it just changes your chemical makeup. It changes the way you view life. When life happens, because life be lifin', it is always happening for you and not to you. And I think we can get our brains in a little bit of a slump. And that is what I want to talk about today. In a previous management group we were with, they had this cool recording that I used to like to listen to called Bump the Slump. And I always liked it because it's kind of like, you're getting in this mindset of, oh, I'm just tired and we're slow and there's no patients coming in and people aren't paying, care plans aren't closing. But you sometimes have to lean into those seasons and dig a little bit deeper as to why things aren't occurring. And I think before, Alejandro and I would just try to really fight it. We're in this slump. Let's just try to drag each other and force our way out of it. And we know that sometimes when we force things don't always go the way that we actually want them to go, versus leaning into the slump, leaning into the discomfort, to the unfortunate experience of not closing care plans or not having new patients come in, because it's often a direct reflection of who we are and what we are doing. And that's what I want to talk about today. I had an amazing conversation with my sister a couple weeks back, and I love her dearly. I support her in everything I do, but I had to give my sister a bit of a reality check. She's a chiropractor as well. For those of you who don't know, she practices in Charleston, South Carolina, has a beautiful practice, has an associate with her. She's doing extremely well. But during this time, she was talking to me just like, our new patients are really low. We've had really slow weeks, and I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do about it, whatever. And I love being able to chat with family who are going through similar things, because we can either lean into them and say, hey, get your stuff together. Let's go. I'm going to motivate you. I want to inspire you. Or we can kind of commiserate together. And sometimes, more often than not, it is the commiseration together. And we can get ourselves into trouble. Alejandro and I have been we've been notorious for doing that in the past, just matching each other's energies, not bringing each other out of this slump that we need to be brought out of. So I was telling my sister, well, hold on, we're going to do a reality check, because didn't you just take off like 4 afternoons the previous week? Because you're tired, right? She's pregnant, and she's like, I'm just going to take this afternoon off. My associate's got it. Patients are great. Yeah, I'm just going to take this day off. I decided to just sleep in. I'm going to take the morning, whatever the case is. And I just gave her this reality check. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with having a slow season, but recognizing that it's going to make you slow, right? It's going to slow down when we are not presently showing up and giving our all and giving this energy and attitude of, I want to see new patients. I want to close these care plans. I want more and more people to come to the office. It's going to reflect in our business, right? And so I told her, wait, haven't you been taking some of these afternoons off, some of these mornings off? And she's like, yep, that's actually very accurate and very true. And when I talked to her about it, she's like, man, I never really thought about that. We just kind of go through these day-to-day motions, and we don't actually recognize that the energy we're putting out behind our actions affect our future, right? And there's a general rule of thumb that what I did 60 to 90 days ago, about a quarter ago, is going to now come to fruition in the present time. And so always be looking if something is going wrong. If you're in a slow season and you're not just like my sister and taking off afternoons and taking off mornings here and there, look back a quarter ago and see what you did differently. See how your energy was. Did you take a vacation? Did you need to take a vacation and you didn't? And the energy was, man, I'm so tired. I don't want to be here. I was sick, whatever the case was. So that's a huge reflection point that I had a revelation of a couple weeks back. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was this idea of driver's ed. The thought came to me this morning, actually. I remember being in driver's ed, and our instructor told us that where your head goes, the car follows. So if I am staring out my left window and looking behind me or trying to figure out what's happening with this accident over here that just occurred, my car is naturally going to drift to the left because that's where my focus is going. And I thought that's such a good comparison, not just with driving a car, but also with your business, with your life, with your marriage. Where your focus goes, that's where the energy flows. And I think Tony Robbins coined that term. We have a business coach, and she says, where your energy goes, your money flows. And so I wanted to take the time to talk about that because it's so true. For my sister, for example, when she is focused on resting and sleeping and staying at home, again, nothing wrong with that. She's pregnant. She might be in a season where that is very necessary, but that's where the energy is going to flow. Her energy is carrying on to her family, where she needs to be the most focused right now. She's getting prepared for baby to come. She's setting up the baby nursery. She's doing everything. She's getting the car seat, getting the car ready, whatever it is. That's where her focus is. That's where her energy is flowing. Life will happen a lot more according to that versus being all in on her business. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. There are times and seasons for everything. We just have to be aware that it's actually happening. So when you are in a slump, when you're in a slump, when you're in this kind of low vibe, I'm tired state, I don't want to see people, whatever it is, I encourage you not to try to bump it or try to force your way out of it, but lean into it. Ask better questions. Why am I in the slump? Let's look back last week, 2 weeks ago, 90 days ago to what was I doing that may have caused this slump. Guys, a lot of the times the problems we are having is a direct reflection of ourselves. We are just so egotistical and blind to see it. And a lot of us don't want to admit that. We don't want to talk about how our pride gets in the way of things or how I'll just call it like laziness or a season of rest that we needed can get in the way of things. And that's our ego saying, no, I'm too good for this. I know patients can come in the door, whatever it is. We don't want to bump it and force it and try to just say, oh, I'm just going to fight through it and muster through it. I'm going to lean into that slump and be like, man, why do I feel like this? Am I tired? Do I need a vacation? Do I need to take time off? Do I need to just take the morning off, reset my mind, and then come back in? And again, there is really no right or wrong answer. It's up to you and what you desire for your life. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that inspires some people. It definitely made my mind kind of reset and reframe. And I want to lean into this Q1 of 2026 harder than ever. And I'm just in this like, let's go mentality because I know I do have a big season of rest coming up. And so if you guys have any more questions about that, if you need to be encouraged and lean more into that slump, I would love to chat with you. Reach out to us, paththovictorychiro.com.